All right, so our next way that we do our selling is through farmers markets. So we actually sell at 2 different farmers markets, but they're both in our city limits. Now, we've been asked to do 3 others within an hour's distance from our local area. But the big thing I do want to stress and I want to mention to you right now is you really do not want to overextend yourself. If you're sending guys everywhere, the time to do that, the labor, the different vehicles you're going to need, the cost is going to go up a lot. So if you have something in your local area that works, try to hit that up first. The neat part about our 2 farmers markets is we actually have one on a Friday morning and we have one on a Saturday. So we only need 1 vehicle to do both. So let's get into this. All right, so when it comes to your farmer's market, there's a few things you're going to want to have. The first thing is just a tent that you can set up. It's a little pavilion style. You know, you can get them at any local Walmart, Home Hardware, any of your local stores. They're everywhere. And what we do here at Green Life Farm is we actually set up 2 tents during our big season, so our big summer season, when we have lots of tables set up with food. The reason for this is unconsciously people will walk by a single tent, but when they walk by and they see that it's this huge 2-tent display, they're going to stop, they're going to come in, and they're going to buy from you. Okay, so there's a few things I want to touch on here. The first one is also your physical appearance. We're talking about food that people want to buy. This is veggies, this is produce, and people do not want to buy if you are covered in dirt looking like a farmer, okay? They want to buy from a salesman, but they want it to be from the farmer. So, you know, do your hair up, put a hat on, whatever it is, make sure it's a clean hat. Wear a nice shirt. Green Life Farm, we actually have t-shirts made. We have our logo on it. You know, it's always about branding. Make sure people know who you are. They can easily recognize you. Oh, that's so-and-so from Green Life Farm. We're going to go and buy from them. We've seen them online. They put the brand from online together with you at the physical farmer's market. You know, clean jeans, or if it's really hot in the summertime, clean shorts. Make sure you look presentable. It's very important. We have seen in the past, we have a couple other farmer friends that have come to the farmer's market, not as clean, and it reflects very much in their sales. All right, so another thing I want to discuss real quick is the presentation of your produce as well as the packaging you use. We have noticed that over the few years that we've been at our local farmers market, packaging is massive. In our local area, our demographic, they want it to look exactly like they came from Sobeys, Superstore, any other grocery chain that's around. So what we do, the very first years actually, we didn't really do much in packaging. We had elastics around a few things, a couple of rubber bands, and people didn't respond well to this. And what we've realized is not a lot of people know how to store their veggies properly. So if you get a bundle of carrots and it just has an elastic on it, in a matter of a couple of days, it's going to go limp in their fridge, and they don't know why. They think it's because it's your fault. It's always your fault, and you need to remember that in reality, it is your fault. You didn't give them the heads up. So now what we do, we tell people when they get our carrots, hey, if you want to keep them the freshest possible, take the tops off and put them in a sealed container, and they will stay firm the whole time. Now, when it comes to things like salad mix, we completely changed our packaging because we've realized that people like that nice, sturdy, square shape with a nice label on top. That made a huge difference for us in our very early years, and we discussed this other times with the packaging section. We have other local farmers that use just a normal plastic bag, and that's what we started out with. Did not work. It did not sell. We couldn't move it. We still have the same type of lettuce in our new packaging, and we can't keep it. It's one of our most popular items now. So packaging, presentation, extremely important. You need a nice big display. It's not just one little piece out there. People will overlook it. You want to make it big, make it look nice. All right. So piling it high is really important when it comes to a farmer's market. If you've ever gone to a grocery store, you'll notice that their displays are usually on an angle, and you can take whatever piece of fruit that is off it and realize that there's only styrofoam underneath, but it gives the optical illusion that there's lots and lots of food. People love the look of abundance. So what we do is when it comes to our farmers market stand, beets, carrots, salad mix, everything, we stack it up. We stack it full. We fill things out. We make a big presentation. Even if you had to, if it's all you brought, put it all out at once if you have to. People love that look of abundance. You'll notice the pile will go down really quickly. And at the very end, if you got 1 or 2 items left, it'll take the rest of the entire farmer's market just to sell those couple items. You want to make sure it's always stacked, always full. Keep yourself busy. One thing that I do at the farmer's market, when people are coming and buying, after 10 people go through and things are looking empty, I go back, fill it right up, stock it up, make it look pristine. We'll even go as far as to take a watering can throughout the hot parts of the summer. We'll go over our beets, we'll go over our carrots, and it'll make that nice big shine again, and people just love that. Make sure it piles high and it'll go really quick. Yeah, it's really important. Okay, so the difference between your CSA box program and the farmer's market is at the farmer's market, you can actually do what's called an upsell. The CSA, 1 box over 15 weeks, $500. That's it, that's all. Farmer's market, when you see people pick a few items that maybe you can lead them towards picking up a 4th or a 5th item. Now, some of the easiest ways of doing this is putting on a sale. So, for example, let's go with salad mix. We'll do a $5 container of salad mix, or we'll do, 2 for $9. And right away, people think, oh, it's a deal. I'm saving money. But in reality, you're actually upselling. Another thing to remember when it comes to a farmer's market is the moment people's hands are full, they stop buying. So whether you have baskets or whether you meet them in the aisle and you say, hey, I got a bag here for you, let me help you fill that up, they will buy more. Again, another version of upselling. Make sure their hands can have as much veggies as possible, whether, like I said, little cart that they're carrying or a bag that you're meeting them with, they need to be able to fill that up because hands are full, they stop buying. Another version of upselling actually is even being able to take debit. People only carry a certain amount of cash. That's a big thing for us. We've transitioned over to debit sales the past couple of years, and I would say we're hitting about 35% of our sales are through debits. And so that's really important. People have $20, they can't spend past that $20. They have the debit with them, you might be $30, $40, $50 sale. That's another big thing. One other thing that we have noticed, we always have, little quirky games that we like to play at the farm with our employees. And so one thing we do is we say, okay, that person just hauled out a $50 bill and they only bought $20 worth of stuff. Let's see if we can push them to another thing. Let's buy that kale, and that kale actually pairs really well with these onion chives and the Swiss chard. And if you put that all together in a meal with a bit of garlic over here, it's fantastic over top of chicken or something like that. So you want to put these ideas in people's heads because they are looking to buy from you. Sometimes they don't know what to do with the produce. Give them ideas and you can keep upselling. So this one's a big one because customer service can be easy and it can be extremely hard. And I'll give you an example. So we have people that will come to the farmer's market and they're already in a grumpy mood. And no matter what you say, no matter what you do, your prices are too high, your produce, it wasn't, on the left side of your stand, it needed to be on the right side of your stand. They're always, they're in a bad mood. We had one guy, he even flipped out that we had plastic bags, even though we had an offer saying that if you can use your own reusable bag, which you didn't bring one, or you can have our paper bags. So, we give people options. The other thing big for this year, as everyone knows, is there's been the pandemic. So we have gone back to using a bit more plastic. But certain people still, no matter what happens, you can't please them. Biggest thing is you cannot lose your brand. You can't lose your face over these couple people. It might be 4 people, 5 people throughout the entire season. So it's not a big deal. Just smile and say, look, I'm sorry I couldn't help you. Or is there anything else we can do? Keep that smile on. They're going to go away unhappy no matter what it is. They were unhappy before they came to you. They're going to be unhappy after they left. It doesn't matter. Just smile. It's all you can really do. They're looking for something to get mad at. Don't give them a reason. Now, on the plus side, the one nice thing about farmers markets is we get this all the time. When you're personal, you say, hey, what's your name? I'm so-and-so. Can I help you find something? It's huge. You'll always notice your sales will go up, and you'll get comments later on your Facebook page or even to your face, which is fantastic. Is, oh, I really enjoy this. We'll be back again next week. And really, it lifts your spirits. It makes everything, I'm ready to come back again. Doesn't matter what so-and-so said. I feel good again. So always, have a smile, good or bad. Okay, so this one is a bit tricky because I'm going to give you actually two different answers. When you're starting your farm, I would definitely say, you have your Facebook page, maybe your Instagram page. You do want to advertise that you're going to certain farmers markets. You want to tag them in it so you get their followers as well. But later, as things progress, we have noticed that I think it was between our third and fourth year, we didn't push so much that we were at the farmer's market, more as we pushed people from our farmer's market to the store. And I'll tell you the reason why we did this is because at the farmer's market, you're going to be in competition with several different farmers. So when someone comes with $40 that they're spending, they might say, hey, I'm going to spend this between all 4 or 5 farmers. So you're only getting a portion of that. In the beginning, this is good for you. It gets your name out there. People begin to know your brand, know your produce, know your quality. But after they know who you are and they know how well your quality is, you can start saying at the farmer's market, oh, we just ran out of that, but we're going to have more at the farm, at our farm store. The reason you push people to your store later as your farm progresses on your Facebook page is at your store, there's no other competition. When they're coming with $50, they want to spend the whole $50 at your store. So that's a very important thing to remember is definitely in the beginning, you do want to advertise, yeah, hey, we're at the farmer's market here on Friday, we're at the farmer's market here on Saturday. As your business grows, this may be 2 or 3 years down the road, you start pushing your store more. Much more important. Okay, so to sum this all up about farmers markets, I do want to give you a bit of disclosure about our area. Our farmers markets are really below par. We get a very low attendance at our farmers markets. Our demographic in our area in general, this doesn't do really well with it. So it was very disheartening and very hard the very first year of farming, even the first 2 years of farming, where we thought we needed to rely on farmers markets and we pushed it really heavy and realized that our sales coming back were extremely low. The first year we had weeks where we were only doing $300 in sales, and that's really not enough to live on, not enough to run a farm. So in spite of that, we knew there was issues, and we could have easily just closed the farm down, shut it down, say this isn't going to work, we're not a market farm. But instead, we decided to rise to these challenges. And out of that, we created our farm store, which we'll talk about a little bit later. It's done fantastic. But another thing I would like to discuss, using the things I told you earlier in this video, the pilot high, the changing of packaging, we've actually been able to capitalize a bit better on our farmers market, and very easily at a single market we'll push over $1,000. We've had weeks where we had 1,500 at each market, and that makes it much more doable when you add your CSA, the sales at your farmers markets, and then the sales at your farm. So even if your farmers market isn't great, if you do these things and you learn some tips and tricks as you go along, you can still make it become a very valuable asset. The other thing I will mention is the one thing the farmers market really did for us is it really established the brand that we had on our Facebook page to an actual physical brand and location. People actually became to know who we are, be able to interact with us. And in the end, that ended up growing our CSA box program, and it ended up people knowing about our store. So it as much as our farmers markets were hard, they were still beneficial. And I would say it would be beneficial to you to try to get into one.